Do you know the toughest thing about sharing real information on YouTube? The moment you tell the truth about things they do not want shared. They will make sure your videos barely ever see the light of day, just as they have done to this channel. This is what is called shadow banning. But as the few of you who still get notifications already know, we don't give up that easy. They can kill our reach, and still we keep on pushing. Why, you ask? Because we believe in free speech and sharing the truth you deserve to know. And we will continue to share these stories with or without YouTube. For those of you who want to help us fight the good fight, please follow the link below. With your support, the truth will continue. Now, as they say, let's get on with the show.
They say when something bad happens, you have three choices. Let it define you, destroy you, or strengthen you. Time to teach Lenny about the rabbits.
I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself,
broadcasting to bring you this emergency action notification. This is a global emergency. Important information to
The beginning of the end. The first whispers of what was coming for us. 23 days ago, on October 22nd, the solar physics team at Berkeley announced they detected unusual activity in the sun's corona. Massive plasma disturbances unlike anything they'd seen in decades of observation. The mainstream media barely covered it. Just another science headline buried between celebrity scandals and political theater. I remember cutting the article out of page 17 of the Tribune. Page 17. That's where they put the news about the potential end of modern civilization. I've always had a fascination with astronomy, amateur stuff mostly. I've had a decent telescope I'd set up in my backyard on clear nights, so I started digging deeper, checking specialized science news sites. What I found kept me awake at night, staring at the ceiling, feeling something ancient and primal. Fear of the sun. Our ancestors understood that fear in a way we've forgotten. 3 days after the Berkeley announcement, NASA confirmed what they called unprecedented coronal mass ejection activity. The Solar Dynamics Observatory satellites captured images of massive plasma arcs stretching millions of kilometers into space. I downloaded those images, stared at them for hours.
I have a story to tell. It is absolutely the most important thing nobody is talking about. Earth has a disaster cycle, and it is about to happen again. Every single sign is already here. The progress of the catastrophe is accelerating. It is the beginning of the modern magnetic excursion of Earth. The Earth's field began shifting. The climate began warming. The magnetic field began weakening. The poles shifting faster and faster. It would be more than 100 years before we'd realize that the other planets were changing too. And we would wait just as long to learn that the stars in line with the center of the galaxy were performing record outburst activity, one after another, in a line, and were next. It would be 2020 before we learned that the sun's coronal magnetic fields were reacting, and the chemistry of its atmosphere was beginning to change, most notably in the helium. The changes we see from the ground are more due to Earth's changing magnetic field and its effect on the upper atmospheric lens through which we view the sun, such that the once yellow sun now looks more white at greater and greater angles of the day. I know many remember the look of the yellow sun, I'm just old enough to remember it looking white near the noon position and thinking, maybe it's just too bright to see the yellow properly way up there. First horseman, dressed in white, wearing a crown at the top of the sky. That takes us from 1859 to today. And the big question is, what happens next?
Solar anomalies last cycle confirmed. We had previously seen how coronal magnetic field changes were surging helium production. Now those magnetic changes are broken down in greater detail. And indeed, the change in the pattern happened when we thought it did. Cycle 24. Confirmation of the solar change and the solar system shift, and one that will lead to the great solar flash at the zenith of this disaster cycle, likely in the next 20 years.
Well, an unusually strong solar storm hitting Earth could produce northern lights in the U.S. this weekend. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration issued a rare severe geomagnetic storm warning.
In the recent decades, the position of the magnetic poles has been moving very rapidly.
It might not be something you usually think about when we talk about severe weather, but it has the capability to disrupt our society. I'm talking about space weather.
When you look at the sun and you look at the Earth, the magnetic field of the sun has a dramatic effect on the Earth, even though it's 93 million miles away.
We're due for a change, a swap of the magnetic polarity of the Earth. And during that process, it's been suggested that the electromagnetic field around Earth could weaken.
Who is aware that the North Pole is shifting over time?
You look at the electromagnetic field around Earth that is getting weaker and weaker. It looks like we've got 15, maybe 25 years.
Here's what we know. About every 6,000 years, there is a geomagnetic change on our planet. It's really, really bad.
The Northern Lights were a sight to see over Florida.
When you start seeing auroras down in Florida, okay, we got a problem.
Everybody who could possibly be in the know is acting like they know exactly what's coming.
What do they know that we don't know, right? I mean, they're building these underground Is this just the natural human nature towards thinking that these are the end times?
Finally tonight, Branson versus Bezos. Who will be first to make it into space?
You do have a bunker there. Is there something you know that we don't?
No, I think that's just like a little shelter under, and it's like a basement.
Little shelter. What are you worried about?
The disaster is the complete destruction of what we call civilization. When it does go off, you're talking about 5,000 degrees Kelvin right here on the surface.
Everybody subconsciously knew something was about to happen. And I think that that's sort of where this great awakening is coming from. When this thing really gets going, it's speeding up to 100 times faster than how much it's moving now. 5% per decade, 5% per year. To 5% every couple of weeks. At that point, you only have a couple of months left.
You know the story of the four horsemen? Remind everybody. The first one is white and wears a crown. The second one is red, steals the civility of the people. The third one is black, and there's several things related to that, actually, but the fourth one is pale, and its name that's set on it was death, and hell follows with it. So, the sun is no longer yellow. The sun appears white in the sky, so bright at the top that it looks like it's wearing a crown, with the rays going in every which direction. When the galactic magnetic reversal point reaches, it will start to dim and look red. And the people's civility will surely be stolen from them when the sun turns red in the sky.
Lady, you can't just take all of this toilet paper. Are you kidding me?
Here we go.
As the dust accumulates and the sun turns black, everyone will know that judgment is upon us. And then when what we call the solar micronova happens and it blasts that material out into space, through the dust and all that material, we will once again see that pale yellow hue, but hell follows with it. The light arrives in 8 minutes, but has the potential to burn the sun-facing region directly looking at the sun at that time. The high-energy proton cosmic ray storm that ensues will be an invisible component of the disaster, as if anyone could take their eyes away from what would be coming right at us at that time. These cosmic rays integrate with the Earth's magnetic field and may begin the turning over of the Earth via the full planet electromagnetic insult. But before long, the actual shell arrives, and it arrives with the smallest and most energetic parts impacting first, a mega CME shockwave that compresses the Earth's sun-facing fields while surging them, creating the arc discharge others call the thunderbolt of the gods. There should also be a discharge out the other side, and perhaps the poles as well. This is more than just a planetary-level lightning strike and discharge. It sucks the water where it wishes and triggers incredible tsunamis from that effect, and from the seismicity induced by its effect on underground water, metal, and crystals like olivine, which translocate upon discharge. This outstanding attraction to Earth can disrupt atmospheric density equilibrium as well, and depressurize parts of the world, sucking down stratospheric air, instantly freezing the surface, while frozen waters and glaciers and mountains of ice chunks from the modern poles would be cascading from their places into those same areas. The wind will enhance the tsunamis and storms, and all while something even more horrifying is happening below our feet. The volcanoes will begin to go off as the electromagnetic insult unlocks the low-velocity zone, induces through the large, low-shear velocity provinces, and triggers the kick of Earth's magnetic field through its reversal process, as the world sways like a drunkard, tilting as Einstein, Cuvier, Duluth, and, according to Major White, how the Pentagon and U.S. CIA believe it will tilt 90 degrees, back and forth each cycle, alternating to put the poles cyclically in the same places, but in between, in the transition, a disaster. As the tsunamis are rolling and the Earth is tilting, the heaviest aspects of the micronova shell arrive, the impactors. Some are asteroids pushed out of normal orbits, some are plasma forms, cooled and congealed from the micronova shell itself as it travels through space. The sun has been hidden from Earth this entire time since the micronova eruption, and even after it begins to shine on us again, the dust from the nova, the volcanic aerosols, and the water vapor produced by the event will cloud out Earth's atmosphere and continue to rapidly cool the planet. Confirmation that Greenland ice not only melted away completely during the recent geologic past, but that it was indeed the entire island. While the paper uses this rapid change fact to offer fear about sea level rise due to melting, it also means that the ice reformed to the tune of 2 miles thick in much shorter time scales than they had imagined as well, during a period when they used to think it was relatively unchanging. With geologically slow transformation, it melted and reformed entirely. Plasma shockwave struck Earth's magnetic field around lunchtime in the United States. It was very fast and moderate density shockwave with a powerful embedded magnetic field. The magnetic disruption to Earth came on much more quickly than anyone anticipated, and that includes me, who knows Earth's magnetic field is weakening. The geoelectric dynamics were furiously amplified in the Western world, and no, this mapping doesn't exist for anywhere else. But it was quite the pulse that we took as the geomagnetic storm reached level 4 just from this first impact, which was probably a combination of the first 2 eruptions, maybe 3. Magnetometer pulse was huge, similar to some of the biggest storms of the last 20 years, and we're just getting started.